We'll start talking like from the, we'll go from the bottom up, yeah? So making sure that weight is dropping over that right leg, yeah? So foot, knee, hip, shoulder on that same line, not stepping forward into your Koko Tadachi, where your weight's in the middle or rocking forward and then pulling back, yeah? So sort of loading onto that right leg, squeezing down, preparing that hikite position, right hand hikite, left hand on top, or just sort of like bending your elbows and then whipping them up, yeah? Don't mind which one you do, as long as it's consistent with the second side. In. And again. So just check this shape here. So shoulder, elbow on a straight line, right arm in line with your forehead, like roughly wrist in line with the front of your forehead. Left arm, shoulder to elbow, elbow to fist, and like, left arm on the left side of your head here. That feeling of coming across. Don't feel like your hands have to be on the same line, like they're separate. Yeah? And again. And as we said, particularly with the seniors, make sure the thing is you're loading this leg here, not just dropping the sort of swing these arms up, closing this right side to then open into the block. One more time. Ha! Okay, second movement. So the most important point is that you keep this Koko Tadachi. As you turn, push that right hip as you close your upper body. Don't allow that right knee to relax. So as much as you are turning your right side in, make sure you're pulling that right inner thigh muscle, right outer thigh muscle out. So as much as your body is closing, that remains still. Don't just think about rotating. We've been talking about this a lot recently, yeah? The idea of this closing in. You can do this as a Tetsui or as an Uruzuki. I don't mind which, again, as long as you're consistent on both sides. At the same time, this left hand is going to cover. Make sure this palm is going to your neck. So maintain your Koko Tadachi, close it. Ready? Make sure that left shoulder is relaxed. This is sort of going, like I say, you can do it as a Tetsui. I nearly always treat this as an Uruzuki. So make sure it's sort of like in line with your chest, yeah? Don't be too low, got it? Not too low. Yeah. It's like you don't want it coming up, but forward, yeah? And again. So the feeling of like that right shoulder trying to meet that left hip. So don't just sort of like bring these arms round and then have the strain. Close, yeah? Close in to that striking block. Hey! Shoulders relaxed. And then open the punch. Remember, this is now not Tetsui, yeah? So it has no sort of outward feeling from there as you open. So you're closed as you open, send that punch straight. Ha! Then the opposite side, yeah? So your weight is back, like your shoulders are pulled back, your weight is over this right leg, yeah? So feel, however you chose to prepare, opposite, yeah? You're going to prepare this foot, prepare the hands, start to look, and then hip, weight, upper body, all goes together, yeah? What you don't want to do is transfer the weight, arms on their own, yeah? You always want as much body weight behind your technique as possible, so hold this back until you make that block in stride. Okay, from the start, so I want you to do those 6 movements, okay? The timing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But that doesn't mean movements 2 and 3 and 5 and 6 are just rushed, yeah? Make sure you're still getting this full body movement. Fully in, stop, fully out. Yeah. Okay. 6. Go! So, bringing that back foot up. So it's directly underneath your center of gravity here. No need to step feet together, just so you can lift that foot without losing your balance. Inch! From here, right on top of left, right knee to the back, and as we often talk about with Kyagi, that feeling of pulling that kick and hip back. So in this case, my right hip is coming back as I push my left hip in. Knee! And then all of this is going to open, yeah? Open the upper body, open that right foot into the target. Ha! Full preparation and start. And try by 1. Few basic points. Stay the same height. The arm will thrust, the leg will snap. Do not kick any higher than your flexibility, mobility allows. Yeah, as soon as you start trying to kick, go down and Compromising your posture, that becomes incorrect. As usual, height unimportant. Technique is paramount. I'd rather a good Kiagi down there than a not so good one up there. Ready? Punch! One quick point which I forgot to mention. Okay. This is really, really important, and it will come up later on in the class. Some of you are starting to step down before you snap the foot. Yeah. So you must complete the snap and then get down quickly. Yeah. Try again. Okay. So stepping forward with the shooter. Yeah. So your weight is over your right leg, like shoulders back in Hamidachi. Yeah. So at the start of the step, same points, yeah, as we were talking about on Monday. So you're pushing off that back leg at the same time you're pulling through that front leg. Yeah, when you step in Zenku Staff, the only difference is, like, rather than that drive off that front leg, you now have a pivot. Yeah, so the feeling is from that halfway point, the weight is where it needs to be. The foot is going to turn out, but it's the hip that generates the pivots. Yeah, so the feeling is my left hip is going to screw that left foot into the floor and rocket that right side out. Yeah, so as soon as you start step, push that right leg, pull that left side, so you come to this showman position. Yeah, inner thighs in, glutes in, don't stick your backside out, core compression, upper body compression. Have this full preparation, don't allow your posture to change, no tension, in. And then everything is going to whip out into that good open snatch. And again, we talk about this often, yeah? If you compress your chest, if you compress your abs, your arms can only go in one direction, yeah? So if I see stuff like this, I know you're not using your core muscles, yeah? Which is what I want you to do to make this movement effective and quick. In, close, close them. And now we do have push to pull and drive into Zenku, so step in front sides. You're blocking Osoyuki with this left, push and block. From here, this left arm is going to come directly down, not up and down, not bouncing up, direct. Two options. Either as soon as you start to step, this arm goes, your right hand remains still until the end, or both stay still until exactly the end point. I don't mind which, both are correct. As I said, just no pull, no drop. Finishing position, like a box, yeah? Shoulder to elbow, elbow to hand, hand to shoulder, yeah? So it's like a box. You don't want his hand in the center of your chest, this way. So you're coming down with the forearm, yeah? Your right arm, the elbow, is on top of the left wrist, yeah? Again, it keeps that nice sort of symmetry. And it also, like, again, if I close my chest, like getting that upper body musculature behind the strike, it brings it to the middle, yeah? This is our first key. Ah! So before we even start, I want you to think about Sirius especially. What is he going to say before he says it? Yeah, you're droning on about it enough, so hopefully starting to get it. Yeah, round. Yeah, that full compression of the thigh, glutes, core, upper body. Everything closes in and then snaps into place. Like, again, this is taught a lot. Again, this idea of this foot like sort of wrapping around. I'm not going to say that's incorrect, but again, it's not how I want you to do it. Yeah. As soon as something can stay still, your body will want to stay still. Yeah. Your body likes to be lazy. Yeah. We don't want to be lazy. Yeah. We want everything to go at full momentum straight away. So as soon as I think that has to go immediately, everything else doesn't have a choice. Yeah. As soon as I say that can stay still until the end, well, it's going to stay still until the end. Yeah. So round immediately. Yeah. And then snap out into that deep slouch. Ready? Punch! And again, you could like just send that right hip in. Yeah. It is not incorrect, but again, we want to think about maximizing our technique. We want to make our Heian and our Kata as difficult as possible, yeah, for training purposes. So I'm going to think thigh, glute, core, chest, everything in the direction I'm stepping out. I'm not just turning that foot and placing my other one. I'm squeezing that muscle so much, it brings that foot round, it forces this left side in. Then that left side is going to catapult that right side into the block. Hey! So this is like probably the hardest bit of Kata. Again, lots of different ways of doing this. You see a lot of people will step and then push off that back leg. Yeah? Again, that is not incorrect, but I want that back leg to drive my block immediately. Yeah? So if you think my right arm is going to take the most direct route, so it's going to go immediately. Yeah? And then from this preparatory position, leg, hip is going to push to the back. Yeah, so try and make sure everything is moving at the same time as much as you can. This is Gyaku Hanmi. Yeah, so we have Hanmi, front hip forward, Shomen, both hips and shoulders straight. Gyaku Hanmi, reverse it forward as much as you can. Get that full rotation in that right side. Punch! And then this is Uchuki on the spot. Yeah. So, like when I teach this to the kids, I say don't move your leg because they all just end up stepping backwards. Yeah. Your leg moves. Your leg is moved by your hip. So from this position, I'm in like Shomen, maybe a little bit of left forward with Gyaksu. When I prepare, I'm going to allow that right hip to come in. Don't let your knee collapse. Don't let your backside stick out. Just that slight movement with that right hip. Then as much as I pull my right hip back, I'm going to push that left hip forward, which should then produce enough momentum to shift that right leg back. Try. Right. Okay, we are close. Joey's going to throw a right hook, and I am going to try and hit me. Felt the intensity there. Thanks, Joe. So we're going to block as we've spoken. Don't have to go softer. Take it easy on me, boy. Thank you. Okay, so we are going to block as we've spoken about before. I'm strong enough to stop Joe from this position. It could be if I wasn't strong enough, that would just continue. So if you're unconfident, if they're much bigger than you, like maybe cover up. But like this is fine for the intensity cats, and then we're going to hit straight away. Right? This way. From here, we are going to pull down and urazu. Yeah? So the hook is coming. We are here. We have hit. Rather than treating this as a block, we are pulling Joe down and in. Then from there, coming up and under. Okay? So the right hook is coming. On the first count, we are covering and hitting. On the second count, we are using the block to pull Joe down. We can pull back, so we are using our weight to sink down, just like the Kokutsudachi. And we're hitting this way. And then up. Okay? Yeah. Joe. Yeah. Like that's not enough. Yeah. So like again, if for instance if I was with Barry, Tim, it could be if they throw that right haymaker, I may need to cover. Yeah. You may need that double block. Like that's not a bad one yet. But like if you're able, you just want to be hitting straight away. Okay? Guys, so we're here. Like first thing, yes, some of you are trying to like again, I'm much bigger and stronger than Joey, so I can probably do this with my arm. Some people in this dojo are like bigger and stronger than me, and with the people you are with, and you're still trying to. That's not going to work yet. Sink, yeah. You've got this Kokutsudachi. Use the stance to pull, and then you're there, yeah. Up, yeah. Okay, so Joe is going to be here, yeah. So Joe is going to catch. Joe is going to catch with his left. The idea that that right hook is going to be coming, yeah? So in the kata from here, I like to bring my hands to this left hite position and in, okay? So as I said, in the kata, we have this step, so we are square, we are putting that that right hand on top of the left. So what I am not just doing is pulling and catching. I am turning it. Then if Joe were to throw that right hook, it may make it. It's going to be severely lessened because Joe is having to punch over himself. The Kata calls for another Ken. We could just keep going this way. We could be here. We could be attacking Joe's feet. And then what's next in the Kata is the Stow, yeah? And away. Okay. So, like the side facing, Joe is going to catch my left with his left to then throw the right, yeah? My left is going to catch. So Joe has caught his left with my left is going to catch as I turn into it with that. From here, I am going to hit as I so wish. I am going to kick as I so wish. I am going to elbow as I so wish. And then away. Okay? One quick point about we're going to treat this. I know the cat is like chew down. It's normally done as chew down. Yeah, a lot of people do it as chew down for competition. This Kyagi is done to chew down. We're going to aim lower. Generally, when you're kicking to the legs, I'll just do this slightly more. If I am kicking Joe's outside leg has quite a lot of give. So in this case, if I'm going to the outside, I'm going to want to treat this as a stamp. Yeah? Because going from the outside, my leg has an awful lot of give. If I boot it in the side of the leg, it will hurt, but it will probably be able to keep going. So you're going to want to go through. If Joe ends up on the other leg, and I'm kicking the inside, well, you can see the difference, yeah? By going from in to out, there is very little give. So that's where you start treating that as a snap. Okay, so Shuto next, okay? So again, we've just been talking about the realism of application. One thing that is often not talked about is this idea of preemptive strike, okay? Certainly like in security for like 8 years on and off. And those of you who have worked in security and whatever, will know there is a law called preemptive strike, where it's basically to help protect police officers, blah, 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 where if they feel threatened, if they believe violence is about to happen, they can hit first, yeah? Which again is often not taught in bunkai, even though it's a really important part of self-protection, yeah? So like Shuto is probably the closest we have to our guard, yeah? Really, it's really not far off. This fence is a really nice place to be. Like, it's not threatening, but my hands are where they're useful. As Joe pushes forward, I can be in this position where I can be trying to set up, down, blah, blah, blah. So we are going to use this Shuto. Joe has his hand forward. He's got his hand up ready to fight. Joe could throw a punch, but just for this, I'm just going to use that to take that away. Yeah? And down. Okay. So again, though it is often treated as a block, perhaps much more useful, we are using it in this preemptive position. I'm taking that hand out of the way. Like generally when you're fighting, yeah, it's often that front hand you want to do stuff with. Yeah, certainly if Joe would throw a punch, like that's the hand I'm going to be wanting to use. Yeah, but in this case, I'm just going to be using it to get that guard out of the way. And then for all intents and purposes, it is just shooting. Yeah, my leg is going to go forward on the outside. I'm going to use that rotation of the hip. I'm going to send that arm out and take. Okay. Thank you, Joe. So again, Joe and I are close. Yeah, Joe is going to throw that right punch. I'm just going to knock it down. If it's coming to the head, fine. If it's going to chew down, fine. Yeah, and I'm going to attack him with that nukte. Okay. Again, the Kata calls for this spear hand nukte going towards the chest. Like that will do diddly squat. So let's not do that. Like we're going to use it. Like you could sort of do this sort of feeling coming up, attacking the bridge of the nose, the eyes, this sort of thing. I'm just going to slam that open hand into Joe's throat. Okay, so we are close, down, and hit. And then falling round and down. Okay? So we'll do this by 2 counts. Yeah? First count, we are close, Joe's punching. I'm down, I'm hitting. Then my left hand is going to come to the left side of Joe. Just like the Kata round. Yep. Thank you, Joe.